Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with the greatest recordings ever. And oh, is this a great one? Oh, it's so great. Here it is. Viktoria Mullova with Seiji Ozawa and the Boston Symphony doing violin concertos. What am I talking about? Violin concertos by Tchaikovsky and Sibelius. Now, these were Mullova's first recordings for Philips. There were actually a few of them. I have them here because they were in a little 3-pack. Yay. We had the Brahms Violin Concerto with Abbado and Stravinsky and Bartók Violin Concertos. With Los Angeles Phil and Esa-Pekka Salonen. I mean, these were the days when, classical music labels had tons of money to fling at people heedlessly. And they gave her wonderful support, and she is a first-class violinist. And after making a few records for Philips, now Decca, she jumped ship and founded her own label, Onyx, where she made a whole bunch of very fine other recordings, principally of chamber music and things like that. But she's tremendous. She's a very serious artist, a serious violinist. You get that sense from the first note that she plays. Her tone is dusky and dark and intense. Her tempos are moderate. She digs into the music and really produces sounds of great passion and richness and energy. And I'm particularly in love on this disc with her Sibelius Concerto. Because, the Sibelius Concerto is a dark piece. It's an incredibly virtuosic piece. It's a showpiece. So it's often played that way, for fireworks, for fun and games, if you want to call it that. But the truth of the matter is there's a gravity to the music, a grit that a lot of violinists don't really capture. And boy, does she capture it. Not by playing slow, but by playing hard, by really, really, probing the music with great seriousness of purpose and with energy. And the slow movement is gorgeous. The finale, which, Tovey jocularly called a polonaise for polar bears, ho, 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 is all, it dances as it must, but it also has that Onsaga tune. Da 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 ba da da ya da 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 do 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 da 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 da. It gets darker and lower and darker and lower, and you have to do that. That's how she digs into the darker corners of the work, and as a result, it just has greater range of expression. The climaxes in the first movement are volcanic. The fireworks of the finale have purpose and contrast. It's just one of the most beautifully thought out performances you've ever heard. And Ozawa and Boston are fabulous, in accompanying her, because it's a very, very difficult work to accompany. It really is. It's a tricky piece, because because the violin is above the orchestra almost the whole time. Sibelius has a big orchestra, but it's amazing how he writes. He keeps it like all below middle C, except for the flutes and things, so that the accompaniment is this roiling dark force. And if you don't do it well, if you don't judge it properly, it can sound like the orchestra and the violin are playing two separate pieces and that they never get together. I've heard it done that way live. It wasn't intentional. That's how it turned out. And it was just horrible. Absolutely. It was like this fiddler out there doing something and there's an orchestra doing something else. And it was really bad. But here, everybody's in sync, which makes it really powerful. Now, the Tchaikovsky is every bit as good. Tchaikovsky is another work that people usually play for laughs. For the double stops and for the, virtuoso stuff, especially the finale, right? It sounds like a sewing machine going off, but not here. Everything has purpose and meaning, and it's articulated perfectly, and the tempos fit, ideally to make the music go and to allow us to hear what the violin is doing. Sometimes it doesn't even sound like notes are coming out. It sounds like you're just sort of sawing at something. It's like a home economics, or shop project in high school. I'm going to build an ashtray. Chugga 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 chugga. No, It doesn't do that. It's musical. It's intensely musical, and the melodies really sing out with great purpose and as I said, passion and richness. It's gorgeous. Just a fantastic violin record from a really great violinist who's been very selective in how she's presented herself to the public and the repertoire she's chosen to do. But she's one of the great ones. I don't think there's any doubt about it. And this is one of the greatest recordings ever. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.